Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, doo-dah day.
Excuse me for a moment. Let me catch my breath. There was some stuff that Joe Dog usually takes care of that we just realized that he hadn't had time to do because he was at the convention in Atlanta. So last minute, bing. Hopefully it worked. And hello, I'm Dan Hollifield, and this is Last Man Standing. And I can't think of a damn thing to say. Here's Joe Bachman with me tonight.
Good evening, folks.
Aunt Donna is probably not going to be with us. Dawn probably will be. But if she's not, we will miss her greatly. Pardon me while I go issue an invitation to our Sterling. And we shall see if we have another guest tonight. Message from Joe Dog going, oh, that was last week. I ignored him for a week. No, that's not really possible. Oh, okay, that's magazine stuff. Aphelion stuff, excuse me. I am late to the party on that, and it's my magazine. Sorry about that. Well, we will try and do our best not to bore you, which is kind of easy with Joe Bachman here because he's the last thing you would ever think of as being boring. But artist, creator, coder, and entrepreneur extreme, Mr. Joe Bachman.
Oh, besides artist, I do not claim to be an artist. Well, I guess my wood burning does count as artistry. I
Yes,
always
it
forget about
does.
I forget about that. I Whenever I think of art, I think of like what Nick does, Nita Land, a bunch of the people on the Madness Comic Network, the Indies Comic Network. I
Yeah,
think
but
of
the wood burning does count. I mean, seriously, that
yeah,
is an art. That is an art, and
um,
it's a skill as well.
yeah. My actual, you know, doing something similar to them, involves a nice gradient background. Um,
Now you're just trying to piss Nick off again. Uh, uh, in
and
jokes, folks. In jokes. Um,
if Nick's not watching this show right now, he just shivered and he's trying to figure out why.
and if he is watching it, he's trying to find the link so he can come in and cuss. Um,
Fair enough. Uh, yeah,
oh,
this week at Midnight's has set me so far back on getting stuff done.
like sleeping. Yeah. Um,
Well, I've been still getting about 6 to 8 hours of sleep during the day, and then I get up. I have to run to the store so I have something to snack on overnight because I'm out in the middle of an interstate, so there's no place for me to heat anything up. Well, I could use one of the patch wagons, but then it just kind of tastes kind of funky. Um,
hey, there. I have heard people wrap stuff in tinfoil and set it on the engine block and leave the truck running for a while.
so we actually had we were I was on a it was actually the very first job I was on with NDOT. We were paving US 421, and me and one of my coworkers we had just gone through and gotten all the asphalt tickets from the train of trucks that were sitting there. So we were sitting off on one of the county roads, just signing them, filling out all the stuff we needed to do. And here comes this truck, pulls off on the county road. Driver hops out, pops the hood. We're like, oh great, we're losing a truck. And he hops out, pops that hood, pulls out an aluminum foil package, hops back up in the cab. Okay, well, that's kind of genius. Heat up your food on the engine block.
Mm-hmm.
Rolls down the window. He looks at us. He goes, "Hey, I brought soup for lunch. Do either of you have a spare spoon with you?" No, sorry, we don't. And he's sitting there for a few minutes. All of a sudden, he goes, "Oh, never mind. I got one." And we're like, "Oh, you found yours?" He goes, "Nope, made it out of the aluminum foil. It works.
Um,
Could
hey,
be a
if it
little
works, it works. Yeah.
could be a little rough on the mouth, but it works."
I recommend going to Walmart and buying the camping gear set, fork, knife, and spoon,
Hmm.
and bottle opener, can opener, combo camping thing, and those are stainless steel and easy to clean afterwards, and they work wonders, especially if you know how to sharpen a knife,
Hmm.
because you get that knife blade um, reasonably sharp, it stays sharp for a long time. You don't have to sharpen it every time you use it. And it will cut through steak, it will cut through hot dogs, it will cut through sheet metal if you really need it to. Those things are great. I mean, it's camping gear. Seriously, it's serious camping gear. And I keep two sets of those in the glove box of the van for when we go to an event to where um, steak knives have not been invented yet, or some sort of thing.
Hmm.
Um, if I could figure out how to use these damn chopsticks, I've got a nice set of chopsticks here. Um, I would feel pretentious walking into a Chinese restaurant with my own chopsticks, but uh, like I said, if I could figure out how to use the damn things, I wouldn't be a bit ashamed if I turned them in.
Mm. Yeah, there was another guy. I can't remember if it was the same project or if it was another project, but it was same contractor. The same laborer was on it, and we call them a shuttle bug. It's basically the asphalt truck will dump into it,
Mm-hmm.
and it can hold about one and a half to two truckloads worth of mix, and it helps keep it heated. And then it has a little conveyor belt system, and it drops down into the paver. And it's got a little service door, and I see him the one day. He opens up the service access door. I'm thinking, oh crap, the shuttle bug's going down. That's not good, because they can dump directly into the paver, but when they're using the shuttle bug, they generally have like a little container in the paver that it would take forever to, if that thing breaks down, to get that container out of there so that they can set it back up to where trucks can directly dump. And he opens that service access door, reaches in, pulls out a can of SpaghettiOs, pops
Yeah.
the top, and starts eating. It's like,
Really? Yeah.
yeah.
Um, at work one day, I came in 7 a.m. and in the trash can was something wrapped in tinfoil that looked severely burned. And I kind of poked at it with a stick because I wasn't going to pick it up.
Smart man.
It it turned out it was a rather large piece of a chocolate cake that somebody had put into the 500 degrees Celsius oven,
Oh.
not remembering that 500 degrees Celsius is about 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
They should have put it in the 150 degrees Celsius oven, which is only 300 degrees, and then only for a few minutes, and the chocolate cake would have been warmed all the way through instead of turned into a charcoal briquette.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, it is kind of frowned upon to use the ovens we use for chemical testing for food products, but it is not unknown for someone to stretch the boundaries of credibility to do this. Just use the low temperature oven, not the big mojambo oven. Um,
You want to do the slow bake, not the, you just set off the nuclear bomb and you're hoping you're at that perfect radius where all the frozen pizzas are perfectly cooked.
yeah, you don't want to put your aluminum army surplus gear in there because it will melt the aluminum before it fries your egg.
Mm-hmm.
Um, use the lower temperature oven, please. And now we've got 3 ovens with different temperatures, and one that is only used by the engineers, and it is at 110 Celsius, which is just above about 250 degrees Fahrenheit. So we can't use that one for our test because it's too low a temperature. But we're trying to boil chemicals out of fiberglass and not cook
Mm.
food. Um, the one the engineers use, that one, standard oven temperature, standard home oven temperatures, let me say. Um, I would not want to eat a pizza that had been cooked in it unless it was wrapped up really well, but fumes and all. But
Hmm.
where there is a will, there's a bunch of anxious relatives, and where there is a free heat source, there are freeloaders that will take advantage of this free heat source.
Hmm.
Um, Sort of the same reason you have an overpass in Atlanta burning down because somebody decided to build a campfire under a bridge that was used to store old tires. I was amazed how fast they had that bridge rebuilt, but it was a major artery on the highway system, so I'm sure it had priority over everything else in the state.
Oh yeah, there was definitely funding that got pulled from projects that hadn't gone out for bid yet, and they went, no, you're over here now.
Yeah, really. Um,
There's probably a good 10 projects that they went. This will last another year. We can we'll just pull this and.
I'm sorry. We've got an executive over here from a major multinational, multi-billion-dollar corporation that wants to get across this bridge. Let's put the bridge back
Mhm.
right now. Um,
We
and
had we had a truck catch fire on 8094 underneath the Chase Street Bridge, and
mm,
we've we dubbed that one the bridge to nowhere because literally you cross over that bridge and you got maybe another 500 feet of road until you hit just a wall going across the entire road. I don't know what's there. It's in the middle of Gary, Indiana, so I'm kind of afraid to ask what's there. Um,
is it
and
anywhere
literally
near
you
an
can't,
Air Force base?
huh?
Is it anywhere near an Air Force base? I
Nope.
mean, Gary. Um,
It's not even near the Gary Chicago International Airport. It's
oh, okay.
it's well south of that, but it's you literally cross over that bridge. You got about another 500 feet of road, and the only thing that you can access going over that bridge is the little like side ramps leading out to the various billboards and stuff. That's it.
Okay.
But if you're
Um,
coming north on Chase Street and you come up to the other side of that wall that's there, it looks like a minefield that's gone off. I mean, there were potholes deep enough that we almost bottomed out my boss's truck.
there are Volkswagens inhabiting those potholes. Uh,
Yes.
oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Um, Let me take 3 steps over here to the fridge.
Yep.
Um, oh, I wonder why Dawn hasn't shown up yet. Did she say she had something else to do tonight?
I don't think so. And you sent it in
Well,
the stupid o'clock chat. Yeah.
well, um, unfortunately, I didn't notice that Jodak had not sent the links. Maybe she didn't notice that I just sent the link through the chat, and she thought, "Oh, well, nobody's going to invite me. I'm not going to show up." Um, this is the thing. Um, Joe Dog is so rarely not here for
Hmm.
Stupid O'Clock, and so rarely does not post all the links to the chats that we forget to check and see whether or not he has. We just think he has, because that's the normal state of affairs.
Hmm.
Excuse me, chair, this way. Um, disco this way, disco that way. Uh, And the disco duck is back there. It's a dog toy.
Oh, so yeah, I spent most of Stupid O'Clock just kind of like updating stuff on the Indie CD page, and it's been. I'm gonna be glad when this part of the project's over. It's a
Get
neat
back
process.
to a you get back to a more reasonable schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I
mean that road is dangerous enough on a good day with actual like walls around you. You know, like I said, we had 3 people come through the job site last night, 2 of which were kind enough to come behind our barrels after they were past us, so they could fly around traffic. The third one pulled in. He followed one of the construction workers in, and then proceeded to look at us like we were the assholes because he couldn't get through.
As they do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wonder that some stuff actually manages to get done. Really.
Yeah, we had somewhere north of 150 patches to do. The very first night, I think we accomplished 6. And then they kind of lit a fire underneath the contractor that's doing it because it's all force account, it's all time and material. So we think the contractor was trying to just milk that.
As they do.
It's costing us to the tune of about 50 grand a night to be out there. Time wise, that's not including the material. And yeah.
The county just recently repaved the entire road that I live on.
Yes.
And part in the middle is incredibly smooth.
Mm-hmm.
But on each end, it's audibly not as smooth. And I was trying to figure out why the hell that was a difference. And then I go, no, the part in the middle that it did first, they actually had a machine that chewed up the original pavement all the way down to the dirt. And then they repaved it. And it's incredibly smooth. Now, what they did with the other 2 ends was pour very tiny gravel across it, and then come along and put another layer of asphalt on top of that. So it's a little bit rougher. Oh, here's Richie.
Richie!
I didn't do it. He was down. I got there, I swear.
Now I can leave you 2 unsupervised while I go down the hall. My bladder's about to burst. I'll be right back.
Oh, shit. That reminds me. I need to take my meds. Oh, hellfire.
That's okay. When he gets back, I'm going to escape around the corner of my computer desk here and head to the bathroom. So, so how you been, Richie?
I can't complain. I'm on the right side of the green. Anything else is getting greedy.
I need to find time, and I need to get a hold of you this weekend when I am not working, or not.
Oh.
Yeah, next weekend, holiday weekend, Thanksgiving weekend.
Okay.
I have something for you from Carl and Donna still in the back of my truck. Because I have not had time to get out to LaPorte.
And I keep forgetting about it.
Every day when I open the back door to my truck, I go, oh, Hey, look, that's still there. I gotta get that to Richie. When the fuck am I gonna have time to get out to Laporte?
Well, let me know, and I could always meet you halfway somewhere too.
Yeah, my work schedule's been so flip floppy lately that some days I don't know if I'm coming, going, or
Or both.
somewhere in between. And I know I'm starting to get tired. I need to actually go upstairs and grab some food too. Because right about now is about lunchtime for me.
Yeah, I had hit Taco Bell on the way home from gaming, so
Oh, that sounds good. It's a bad idea for me this late at night, but that sounds good.
yeah, same here.
Okay, next.
Next, tapping out.
Okay. Oh Lord. Ah.
No better tapping out than ripping one out.
I don't know about Taco Bell, but Lindsay had homemade pizzas she did herself. They were about the size of a small paper plate, and in the last 2 days we ate 3 of them between the two of us. And then she had actually forgotten that I did not have to work yesterday, and had made me a huge ham sandwich with white cheddar cheese and whatnot. And I had that after I had decided the half a pizza I had tonight was not enough. And now I'm going, I really should have stopped by one of the local stores and picked up some munchies. I could use some chips right about now. And she's asleep, and I don't want her to think that she has been remiss in her self-appointed cooking duties. Believe me, I have not cooked this weekend either, so I can't blame her. She did a hell of a lot more than I did, and I'm infernally grateful. But usually on the weekends, I don't eat an awful lot. Usually just filler, because she cooks. Yes, she cooks for me so extensively during the week when I'm at work, and this was the first week that I only had a Monday through Thursday work week, which is going to happen the rest of the year. Next week, Thanksgiving, yeah, already had the holiday off, but um, I'm not going to have to work a single Friday in December.
Yeah,
And
Misty's
then
a
I
little
get to retire.
because darn near every single Sunday in December she's stuck work.
Mm,
But she does have our anniversary off, so
oh, well, that's always good. That's always good. You're going to go someplace special, or just kind of hang around at the house and be special that way?
well, I will probably take her out because I actually had the entire last week of Easter. Um, uh, my manager decided that she was going to take that week off herself, and then she's like, "Well, we can't have everyone off." I'm like, "And everybody is asking for it off. I ask for that time frame off every year because of these 2 days." And very often in the past, I would get screwed over by Elaine, who got those 2 dates every freaky year. I would have been as miffed if it was like, okay, she gets it this year, I get it next year. She gets a year after. Going back, no. I kept getting denied those dates. I'm like, she just wants the last week of the year off. It's actually my freaking anniversary and my youngest's birthday. You know, can I at least have it off once in a while? But yeah, it is what it is. She retired, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. I'll have to fight before it.
Yeah, really. Who? Oh, I shouldn't say that. This is not green room. However, she was managing to deny you those days off previously. She's retired now. You don't have to worry about that.
No, the other trainer is the one that was getting those dates. The other trainer that was getting those dates is retired, so I don't have to fight that trainer for me.
That was what I was trying to say.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still stuck with that manager for a few more years, so technically she should be retiring maybe. But yeah. I know exactly why the other trainer was getting those dates. Because my manager admitted to me that she's sexist and is basically giving the females preferential treatment. I'm like, that's still a shitty move. I get it. IT still a fairly male dominated area, and it's women are treated as second class citizens and stuff like that. But two wrongs don't make a right.
This is true. If you have employees,
Oh, 3 left.
no matter their gender, well, in my experience, the one with the most seniority gets time off that they request before someone with lesser seniority, but that's because we're unionized. And I've realized that
But
not everybody is in that blessed situation.
yeah,
But
that should also go back and forth a little bit too.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that person shouldn't get those same dates off every freaking year.
This is true.
And it's not like, IT training is a super critical department where we have to have someone on staff all the freaking time.
Mm-hmm. Then again, I before the end of this month, I have to take the company cybersecurity class online, and I'm going. You do realize that I've been online since 1995. I could probably teach this. But it is a company requirement. I will do it whenever they stop having me do emergency. Oh my God, this needs to pass a quality test so we can sell it instead of throwing all this away. And I'm going, dude, you realize how much of the actual scheduled stuff that you are interrupting for this? You should have thrown it away in the first place. Test to see if it's any good. Okay. I will do what I can do, but I'm not going to pencil whip a damn thing for you. If it's marginal, it's marginal. If it fails, it fails. If it passes, it passes. I am not pencil whipping nothing. Oh. My supervisors asked me to write a impromptu training manual for my job, just in case he is able to justify the existence of my job and put somebody else in it after I leave. The company's been trying to get rid of my job for several years now. The union got them to agree that I can keep the job, it won't disappear until I retire. And my supervisor's going, I don't want to do this shit. We need somebody else from production to do this. And I'm going, yeah, well, that's why the job was created in the first place, to keep managers from having to do it. Corporate, I don't know. It's corporate.
Big corporate.
That was one of the best things that we had a deputy commissioner for LaPorte District NDOT. He was the third one there after I'd started working at NDOT. He had everybody create turnover files. And basically, it was so that if something was to happen to you, whether you just came down sick, you got into a car wreck, you just said, you know what, screw this, I'm out. There was a binder that somebody could walk up, grab that binder, and for the most part, do your job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think I ended up with about when I was IT manager, I had like a 25-page document, and the last 5 pages was nothing but contacts down in Indy of, well, you're not going to be a security coordinator, so you need to contact this person. You're not a telecommunications coordinator, so you need to contact this person.
Yeah. The actual process of what I do on a day-to-day basis takes up about 3 pages on Word. The unofficial stuff that I do would take somebody that has been using computers for a long time and really likes playing with Excel and writing code. And I don't expect they'll ever get anybody else with that kind of interest in learning new stuff to be able to do that. They'll hire a contractor to do that if they ever need it. Even though I did it to fill in the times where there was not a test scheduled for me to do that day. And I felt like I needed to do something that would benefit the company and not look like I was goofing off. So I taught myself VBA code for Excel. And I got pretty damn good at it, actually. I've got spreadsheets where you punch a button on there and it does some really amazing calculations and displays and stuff. And I don't think they'll ever find anybody with that kind of, oh, I'm willing to put the cell phone down and learn something attitude that I do have. But that's neither here nor there. They don't even know 9/10 of what I've actually done for them. And when I'm gone, they'll probably react with, why aren't we getting these reports anymore? Oh, Dan used to do those. Um, well, why can't we get somebody else to do what Dan used to do? Because you wanted to do away with this job.
Too cheap to pay people what they need to earn to be able to learn.
Well, it's not even too cheap. It's just I still can't figure out the motivation for trying to do away with my job. It's not going to save the company any money. It's going to cost them about 30% more than they pay me now.
Yeah, because they're still going to have to do the testing on the materials, right?
Corporate demands it, yes.
Yeah,
But
so
they're going to have somebody in management have to do the testing. So The reason my job was invented was because it entailed what the quality manager and 2 engineers, also in management, were doing, and they go, "Hey, let's give it to Dan. He's gung ho." Um, and I excelled at doing the job, and have if people would actually pay attention to what I've got done, as far as the spreadsheets go, it's a really easy job to do. If you don't pay attention and do it the hard way, you're gonna be doing 5 hours work where it could be 5 minutes.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Management just doesn't seem to corporate just doesn't seem to get a grasp of um, what's actually involved and why it was invented in the first place. So I don't know. I don't know what benefit there is to doing away with my job. Um, they're only going to have to recreate it later because upper corporate demands these test results.
Yeah.
Middle corporate is the ones going, oh, we can save money by doing away with this job title. Oh, my sweet
I
summer
would
child.
almost put money on it that there will be test results that are pencil whipped.
Oh, I know there will be. I know there
That,
will be.
you know, and it's going to come back to squarely bite them on the rear.
Customer complaints are a thing. There are people that regularly pencil whip their test results in
Mhm.
order to keep from having to retests. I don't do that. Um, I go, hey, this is what my job is. I'm not supposed to make things pass. I'm
Mhm.
supposed to tell you how badly things have failed. That's what you pay me for, the brutal honesty.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't care. I don't care. Uh, what is it? I only have to keep doing this shit till January 2nd, and that's it. I
Yep.
come back. I come back February 8th and go bye bye. I'm I'm half tempted to go out to my oak tree and get a ladder and climb up and get a sprig of mistletoe and pin it to the back belt loop of my blue jeans on my last day, so you can kiss my ass goodbye. I'm sorry, but
God, I
uh,
should have done that when I left Staples.
oh Lord, it's. I come up with these ideas and they're just absolutely brilliant and evilly brilliant and brilliantly evil at the same time, and I'm going, I can't do that. I'm a nice guy. I can't do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh Lord. Ah, it's still it's still, even at this stage, it's still kind of scary. I've spent 46 years at the factory, and a couple of years before that, when I was still in college, getting a weekly paycheck.
Hmm.
And not to have a weekly paycheck coming in anymore kind of scares the living shit out of me. But
Yeah,
uh,
that.
I've been
uh,
I've been
I
I've been doing all the paperwork and everything. Evidently, my pension is now officially in a IRA account,
mm,
and I will be getting about $1,900 a month out of that. My 401k, I'm going to empty that sucker. There's 4 years pay in there.
Mhm.
I'm going to empty that, throw it in my bank account, and then throw at least half of that into a high interest savings account through one of my credit cards, and that'll be a little bit more every month. And
Yep.
then Social Security, I think, is about $2,000 a month because I've been working for so many years.
Yep.
But we'll be, even after taxes, we will be better off than I was when I was working. Lindsay's worried. I'm trying to come to grips with the absence of the paycheck every week.
Mhm.
But everybody in this situation goes through the same damn thing. And when the checks start coming in from the retirement, they relax. And I'm hoping that everything will work out and I can relax too.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, it's just a matter of remembering that instead of budgeting from week to week, now it's a budget for the month. That's the big thing. It's no different than going from a job that pays weekly to one that pays bi-weekly.
hmm
You know.
Well, the nice thing is I've been using an Excel spreadsheet to do our expenses for the last 5 years. So I know as long as we got $2,000 to $2,500 a month, all the bills will get paid
Mhm.
and all the fun gets budgeted because I've included everything in there. So 2,000 to 2,500 a month is all we need to be exactly where we are right now.
Mhm.
And so far, it looks like we'll have twice that. So um, everything over what we actually need to pay the bills, that'll be going into a savings account that gives 3 1/3% interest, and whatever comes out of that, you know, I've already got a tiny amount in there, just about 20 grand, and that's already earning $70 a month
Mhm.
in interest. Now I can imagine instead of 20 grand, got 100 grand in there. Um, or
Hey,
go ahead
Rich.
and throw the entire thing in there and get
Hmm?
10 times it and get 700 a month interest. That'll really um, increase
That'll really
our.
pad everything.
That will pay for every convention we want to go to for the rest of our lives.
What? Hey, Rich. Which microphone is your system pulling from right now?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Because you sound very tinny right now, and every time you lean back, I could hear the fan. So I was wondering if it was your headset.
Probably if um, yeah, it's how's that?
That's better.
Yeah, apparently something tweaked and it went to back to my headset.
Yeah, well, um, I'm surprised my headset works as well as it does. It's not that expensive, but it is Bluetooth and bone conduction earphones.
Mhm.
But Part of the quality of it is that Lindsay's gone to bed. There's no noise from the TV in the living room, and I don't have anything else cooking back here, so it works. Don't know why. Don't know when. Oh, she's gonna be so pissed tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
She is going to be so pissed tomorrow. She does
Okay,
not know
pissed as an American or pissed as in British?
American.
Okay.
She does not know that I ordered a brand new iPad for her store just
So,
to run the app for the card reader.
so what would you like on your tombstone? And don't say sausage and pepperoni. Uh,
Actually, she has threatened to put my most frequent comment on it is, "It'll be all right." And seriously, for all the people that have ever known me really well in my life, they would go, "Yep, that's Nan right there. It'll be all right. Don't panic. Everything's fine. It'll work out. Just chill and relax, and don't roll the next one that tightly." Um,
I kind of want mine to say, here lies Rich Asplin Jr. He was a real poopy fruit. He knew where his towel was.
that can be arranged.
Misty probably wouldn't go for it simply because she wouldn't understand the reference.
She needs to read the books, or does she have the patience to put up with it?
She doesn't have the patience to deal with absurdist comedy a lot.
Oh,
under my name, all I want is life.exe has experienced a fatal error. And I want the tombstone to be blue.
file 407 ever. Asshole not found.
Now I kind of want an LED headstone, and then sit there and just start talking normally, and then have it start glitching out, and then the life.exe has experienced a fatal error.
I kind of like the one from the John Denver song "Forest Lawn," and tips his hat to the people roaming past. Um, oh Lord, the Forest Lawn song. If you've never heard John Denver perform that, you really should, because it is worthy of Weird Al and many other people in the same comedy song vein.
Mm-hmm.
I get the feeling it might have been written by Tom Lehrer. But at this stage in my life, I cannot remember an album credit that I read in the 70s. So, whew. I hear the dog outside the door, and she is pissed that I've got the door shut so she can't barge in and tell me, "It's bedtime, motherfucker."
So apparently, our cat has decided he likes to come down to the basement on his own now. The other it was last night actually, before when the wife came down to get on the green room. He was already sitting by the door, looking at her, looking at the door, looking back at her, and going, meow, wanting to come down here because it's cooler.
In November.
Well, I've stepped on the floor where he's been laying at on the carpeting, and he seems like he runs warm to begin with.
Okay.
Because you'll be walking along, if you're walking without shoes on, you step onto a spot, you're like, okay, cat's been laying here, and
It's all that solar heat they suck up during the day.
right, and he actually prefers laying either on the kitchen floor, or in the bedroom on the floor because they're both wood. And then when he comes down here to the basement, he's found a nice little spot. One of my wife's sweatshirts had apparently fallen off next to the couch, and it's right up against the outside wall. So he'll lay on that, which gives him a little bit of protection from the ice cold floor, but still get that coolness coming off the exterior wall.
And even after it had been laundered, he can smell Trelana's scent.
Mm-hmm.
And for a cat, that is very comforting.
Yep. And so tonight when I came down here, because we don't have a litter box or anything down here yet for him, we're probably going to be putting one down here tomorrow. Because he doesn't really jump up on things. Like, he doesn't try and jump up on the kitchen table, the counters, the rat cage. None of that. The most he'll jump up on is the couch down here, our chairs, or the little cedar chest to lay under. We got him a cat tower. He has not gone any higher than the very bottom of it. He'll just lay underneath the two tower parts.
Evidently,
But
there's no competition.
yeah. So we'll probably put a litter box down here for him, and that way, if he feels the need, he doesn't have to try and rush upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And just finally give him free roam of the full house. But she sent me a picture tonight because I had shut the door coming down here so that I didn't have to try and make sure he wasn't down here when I left. And apparently he was laying right next to that door, waiting for me to come open it so he could come down.
Oh, they're so wonderful, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Oh, I love the little bugger. He's a great little cat. Starting to show his personality a little bit more. So
well,
he gained 2 pounds in 2 weeks.
wow.
There was an outside stray at my best friend's house who was apparently pregnant. All the kittens have been brought inside now. They are in the system and they are going through to get all their shots and spayed and neutered and all that. It's just my best friend is fostering them until the agency that they're going through can get them adopted out and stuff like that. So we were overrun with kittens as we're trying to play Dungeons and Dragons. They're climbing up on us, jumping on each other like, "Ha! I've got the high ground."
Yeah, I can imagine that was one to climbing your shoulders. Oh, 6'4" guy. The ground don't get much higher than that.
Not in our group, no. Unless someone's climbed up on something.
No, Lindsay's got. Well, she still calls him Peril, but she's been letting him in the house at night, and he absolutely loves to curl up behind my knees while I'm on my side on the bed, and he'll just purr like a chainsaw. and he and the dog have been playing games like, okay, which one of us is going to be dominant in this situation? And the dog is going, me, I'm a girl. And the cat's going, no, me, I'm a cat. And it's been really entertaining. This morning about 10 o'clock, um, they were just kind of going, tag, you're it, all over the bed. And it was fun to watch, but I'd really rather be asleep at 10 o'clock in the morning on a day off. Um, oh, that reminds me. We've got a gift certificate for a honey baked ham for Christmas gift from work, and we know that's the last one we're going to get. So we got to go and get that thing while there are still some good ones left, because everybody in the plant got one of these. So they used to just hand them out in a big box at work, but now they give us a gift card, and we go up there and just pick up one. $75 for a ham.
Oh,
It's a big freaking ham. I mean, huge. I know what I'm going to be having for sandwiches for the rest of the year. Um, and then when it gets down to the bone, Lindsay will boil it down for broth and um, make something creative with it. The ham and beans or whatever. And eventually, when everything has been boiled off the bone, the dog will get the bone. Um, that'll be entertaining. I have to go along with the vacuum cleaner after the dog and go, these fragments are a little bit too small for you to be expected to come and pick up again. So, with the vacuum. Um, so many. This is the last is coming up right now. Um, a week or two ago, I go, oh wow, that's the last overtime I will ever get. Now I no longer have to work Fridays because I took them off as a vacation day. So it's Monday through Thursday is my regular work week now. And I'm going, okay, that's the last full 48-hour check or 40-hour check I will get. And after New Year's, I'll be going, oh, this is the last of my vacations that I will ever get paid to take. And then February 8th, it'll be, this is the last day I ever have to come into this drafty old barn and put up with corporate bullshit. I don't know why I'm so scared. I really don't. Everything has been, all the paperwork's been done. The retirement, the pension has already rolled over into an IRA. I got the notice from my investment company that all that's been done. It's completed. Um, I think it's the fact that it's been 46 years with this company and a couple of years with another company, almost 50 years, a weekly paycheck.
mm-hmm.
And I won't have that anymore. And it's kind of
50
scary.
years 50 years of a weekly paycheck and 50 years of knowing that every Monday through Friday you are having to get up to do something.
Well, the first 38 years was swing shift. 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Then
3
I
more
got daytime
days.
only.
3 more days is the 21st anniversary of the first call I took for the firm.
Oh. And nobody will even bake you a cake.
When I tell people, they're like, "You don't look like you've been old enough to be working for 20 years." I'm like, "God, I've been working a lot longer than 20 years."
Started when I was 5.
My first job was at 10, helping Dad during the summers and school breaks and stuff like that, doing HVAC shit because boys are always supposed to be wilder than girls, and all the antics that my sisters got up to, my parents are like, "Nope, do not pass go, do not collect $200. You are stuck doing this."
You
So
are going to work with your dad. I'm not going to supervise you. Yeah.
I was one of the strongest 12-year-olds I knew because I could actually pick up a full box of 10-foot long round pipe, carried over my shoulder like it was nothing. And I was able to start doing that with duct work as well. Now, granted, the first few weeks of having to do that with my father, I was only able to carry a couple pieces at a time. I'd actually have to take stuff out, take it, and ended up having to do freaking 20 to 30 trips up and down a ladder with stuff to get it all down. Where, by the end of the summer, it was one trip for the duct, one trip for the round pipe. Oh crap, we need another box of duct. Like 3 more hours into it. Go up and do it again. So but yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
Mm.
I remember when my sister and my little brother graduated to driving the pickup truck rather than stacking the hay bales. It had been my job to drive the truck, and then Dad's going, "Well, let's give the kids a chance." And they had to learn how to drive a 3 on the tree with a clutch in a field. And Dad and I were throwing hay bales up into the truck bed. You do not realize how heavy a hay bale can be when it's pretty much golf course grass. That and compacted. That shit is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking 150 to 300 pounds, and trying to throw it up about 8 feet in the air. Dad could do it. I couldn't manage that far.
My
But
dad was surprised when I was 14. He came home from work early on a Saturday. He managed to get his shit done, so he was able to cut off around noon. And I was finishing up mowing the lawn. And we had a hill that was fairly steep, went down to the lake, and as soon as I got to the top of the hill, I would mow another few feet in so I can move all the picnic tables to the mowed part, and then just finish up, and then just move shit back. So he was looking out. He saw me mowing the lawn. I didn't realize he was home yet. I turned off the mower, went, grabbed the first picnic table, and he was starting to come out to try to help me. And then by the time he had turned around from closing the sliding glass door, I had both of the picnic tables on the other side. He's like, "How did you, Dad? You had me carrying boxes of ductwork when I was 10. You think a picnic table's anything? It's just awkward.
Really?
I just had to get it up on the edge, get it on my back, carry it, put it down, you know." And he's like, "What the?" I'm like, "You,
You trained me. Why are you surprised?
Yeah.
yeah, you're always bitching at me to be stronger." And he's like, "Yeah, I guess I gotta stop that now, don't I?"
Yeah, really. Pardon me, I've got to lift up this front end of the pickup truck so we can change the tires. Um,
But
oh, I'm supposed to use a jack? Oh, how wimpy. Um, oh Lord, yeah. When you grow up in an environment that requires you to be very physically active, and then people who have never been required to be physically active see you do something that they can't do because they don't have the practice, and they go, I'm not going to pick on you anymore because you can lift that.
Mm-hmm.
This
the
is true.
washer and dryer got delivered yesterday, and I'm just listening to them come up the steps with it, and I'm like, "Dear Mother of God, I miss being healthy." I mean, I at one point in time I was able to do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been for like 10 years, but still, I'm just like, listening to that, and then looking at my physical health now, I'm just like, man, getting old sucks.
It does. It
Mm-hmm.
does. Um, Not only are you not able to do what you think everyone should be able to do, even at your age, but all the hidden aches and pains that nobody ever talks about.
Yeah.
Because,
I was the oldest 16-year-old I knew. At 16, physically, as far as aches and pains and arthritis and stuff like that, I was older than people 3 times, sometimes 4 times my age. And it's just like, wow. But then it's like, I still have to go and do XYZ, so I don't get to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays it's like, dear God, why didn't I stop and let my body heal?
um,
I might be able to walk up a flight of steps without being winded now.
I can answer that in one simple movie quote. I ain't got time to bleed.
Yep.
When you have to, you do it. When you don't have to, you go, oh, fuck, that hurts.
At a very very early age, I adopted one more step, breathe. One more step, breathe. Because just okay, I just got to take one more step is easier than going, shit, I still have 6 miles to go.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
And I would be through that 6 miles before I freaking knew it. By just going one more step, just concentrating on one step. You know,
I once utterly freaked out about a dozen of my friends because I was having to move an entire recording studio from my one bedroom apartment to a house about 100 yards away. So I picked up the speaker cabinet for a 300-watt amplifier, and basically toted it in my arms 100 yards. I did stop 2 or 3 times along the way, set it down, got a better grip, picked it back up, after catching my breath, and nobody else could help me. It was my job. It was my house. It was my apartment. There wasn't anybody available. All my friends were busy at work, so I had to do it. And here I am. I'm walking. I'm carrying an armful of speaker cabinet that I built. So I knew how heavy it was because I built stuff very solidly.
Mhm.
And there's this cute girl in a bikini sunbathing in the apartment building that I was having to walk past, and I go, she won't be impressed, and go back for the next load. Turns out she was impressed. Never got a date with her, but she was impressed. I was a stout little introvert.
Yeah. When I worked at Staples, they had the genius idea of let's move away from the tile floors and put down carpeting. And it was that hard, like square rectangular, like it just glued down over the top of the old tiles carpet that provided no cushion to walk on whatsoever. It was still like walking on the tiles, but helped you generate a hell of a lot more static electricity in the wintertime.
Excuse me while I clock in. Zap.
Oh no, I'd be walking down the aisles, like if I was showing a customer where something was at, about depending on the day, it was either every single one or every other end cap. I'd tap the shelving unit on it just to let go some of that static discharge.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you didn't, and the next time you touched one of those, you could damn near hear the actual zap across the store. But
When I
they
was
had
still in the help desk
I
physically at the
understand
farm,
completely.
I would get about 3 inches from the cube walls. As back and forth talking between the other techs and helping out with stuff, I would get about 3 inches away, and then you would see a blue arc from my shoulder to the cube.
Oh.
I build up static electricity badly.
Yeah. But I went through. We needed another pallet of paper pulled up to the front, and whenever they did that, even if it was a manager, it was always 2 people. And they looked at me one day. They're like, "Hey Joe, can you grab a pallet of paper?" Yeah, sure. Put the pallet jack underneath it, cranked it up. We didn't have the fancy, motorized ones. These were all manual. I got lined up with the receiving doors and started about as much of a full sprint as I could by the time that pallet hit the actual carpet so I could keep it going. Drug that thing clear up to the front, got it positioned, dropped it down. Todd, the operations manager, looks at me and goes, "Who helped you with that?" "No one." "You just drug that damn thing up by yourself?" "Yeah,
That's
and?"
what you paid me for.
He goes,
Heck.
I don't even do that. I asked for help with that. I'm like, well, someone else, you should have told me to find someone then. You looked at me and said, hey, we need paper. I went and got paper.
Back when I was 19, I was bagging groceries for key markets. We had one individual come in who needed 6 cases of pop. Told us what cases she needed. I walked over and I got it without a cart, all 6. And they're just like, what the? Because there I am just toting, looking around like this, just toting 6 full 24 cases of, 24 can cases of pop. And they're all like, but I'm like, just because I'm fat doesn't mean I don't have muscle. Think about it. You have to have muscle to be able to move this much body.
My dad was 6'2", and when he was a bouncer at the club, probably about 375. He a big boy. And every once in a while, someone would get froggy. And he would, they would try and start something in the club, and he'd come over to break it up. And, oh, what are you going to do, fat ass? No, that was the wrong thing to say. Because God help you if he got those meat beaters on you. The man had a grip that you could not escape from once he got his hands on you.
They got thrown out of the bar, and by thrown out of the bar, we don't mean, he was invited to leave, let to gather his stuff, walk to the door, told, have a nice, safe night. He was flung like a frisbee.
Mm-hmm.
They call them bouncers because they can make you bounce at least twice before you stop moving.
Oh, my dad went to stop a fight one night, and the guy just turned and hit my dad square in the stomach. My dad didn't even flinch. Like, my dad looked about the size of you and me put together, Richie. And him square in the stomach, my dad goes, I just looked down, looked back at him, grabbed him by the back of the shirt, drug him outside.
Yeah, it's funny the folks that underestimate someone because they're a big boy. My psychopath's little brother used to forget about that all the time, and he was reminded about it on a regular basis because he would cross that line, and I would literally pick him up by his boxers and carry him through her house. It was kind of funny. He would very often do something to piss me off and forget I was between him and every single exit in the house. I'm like, you realize you have to get past me. You realize my shoulders are touching both walls. And then he and his best friend would want to try to wrestle and shit like that. And I'd be like, all right. One would be just
Sign
2
this
steps
waiver.
in front of one would be just like 2 steps in front of the other. So I would pick up that one and just beat the other one with him.
Yes.
Literally picking, a motherfucker up and beating another motherfucker with a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You don't leave fingerprints that way.
Exactly.
It must have been some kind of horrible pedestrian accident. It looks like they ran into each other at really high speed.
Several times.
And then there were sometimes I would just be carrying them around the front yard, just set of boxers in each hand, just lift them up, just walking around. I'm like, are we done now? No. All right.
The lake
All
is
right, we're
just
done,
over
we're done,
there.
we're done.
I can throw y'all at least 10 yards. One
15
hand.
if I get a good spin and throw you like a discus.
Hey, you throw the first one 10, the next one gets 15 because you got hand-free. Leverage.
Hmm.
Oh, I do not want to. Oh, the pain in my neck is coming back. I do not want another glass of whiskey.
Your Doug's
Um,
coming back?
no. The pain in my neck. Joe Dog is a pain in a different area.
Ah,
Oh,
Love you,
Lord.
Joe Dog.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. Oh, okay.
roasting over an open fire with the tangy barbecue sauce.
The pickled eggs. Um, well, there's a difference between needing a team and being a team.
Mhm.
When you are a team of one, um, impossible things seem to happen in your favor.
I was able to fight pretty good until about fourth grade. My mom said she was very disappointed in me for fighting. After that, unless it was my sisters, I couldn't fight to save my life. Um, with my sisters, I had to fight to save my life. Um, in my family, it wasn't you can't hit a girl. You can't hit a girl first. You can defend
Mhm.
yourself, but if there's any way for you to get the hell out of there without throwing a punch or anything like that, male or female, do that. But the second you can't, man, woman, child, anyone can kill
Mhm.
you if they're properly motivated enough. Um, but yeah, it took a very long time for me to be able to figure out how to fight after that. And it was after I graduated that I realized, it was a mental trigger that, because you
Because your
know
mom said that,
because
you
mom
were.
was such an important part of my life. Yeah, that
Yeah,
it
exactly.
I didn't want to disappoint mom, and it without realizing it, I let myself fall into something where, yeah, it oh I had the shit beat out of me on a regular basis in junior high school and high school. Um,
Um, sounds like my first marriage, actually. Um, my parents brought me up not to hit a woman, and then I met my first wife, and she thought that domestic violence was a form of foreplay. It wasn't until it was 5 years later that I overcame my childhood training, and she threw a folding chair at me. I smacked it out of the air, and she was not expecting me to do a superhero move. And I told her from then on, if you ever hit me again, I'm going to hit you back just as hard as I can. And I am not going to put up with your shit anymore. About about a week later, she filed for divorce. Uh, it was not anything other than whatever the mildest form of divorce is, mutual incompatibility or
Mhm.
unreconcilable differences. That was it. And she asked for my entire income tax return for that year. And I'm going, oh, you are so stupid. I will give you money to get rid of you. You want 1 year's income tax return when you would be legally entitled to support payments every damn week. You
Mhm.
are so stupid, woman. So I signed the forms. I gave her $2,000 and tried never to see her again in my life. If I ever noticed her, I would walk across the road to be not on the same side of the street as she was. She did show up a time or two and ask me for favors. I said, I can't help you. I don't know how to do that, and that's probably criminal. And I don't appreciate being set up to be arrested just so you can make brownie points with whatever cop you're sleeping with right now. And um, I got to keep my daughter out of it. I mean, out of that relationship. My oldest stepdaughter is a fantastic person, and I really appreciate being able to keep her. But I had to wait about a generation before that happened. I just wrote everybody off from that. Um, my daughter's brother. I never want to see that son of a bitch again in my life. He better not come near anything that I own or I love, or there will be violence. And y'all know me. I'm about the gentlest guy, the most laid back guy that anybody would ever want to meet. But this kid, he's got Charles Manson written all over him. Nope, I ain't putting up with that shit. Uh, I
That's
hate even to admit that that period of my life existed. Um, um, I I love my girl. She was not adopted. She is a stepdaughter. Yes, like all my children are stepchildren. Um, but there are things that are beyond the pale. There are things that no one should have to put up with. And I was stupid enough to put up with it for quite a while because I was raised to be a gentleman without the additional information that sometimes being a gentleman is the wrong approach.
hmm
Um, Never been any domestic violence in any of my relationships since then. It's not me. I'm not. I'm. I'm not that way. It was evidently she was raised to think that domestic violence was normal, and I was not. So it took me a long time to come to grips with it and reject it and find a way to walk away. This is not something I'm proud of in my life. Um, I'm proud of the way that I got out of it, but the fact that it happened, I should have been smarter. I should have seen it coming, but I didn't. Um, um, I don't know why I'm saying this while we're being recorded. This is the kind of thing that I'd rather talk about, when we're one on one, sitting around with a full tankard at a con,
hmm
when everything was relaxed. But for some reason, it came up, and I'm being brutally honest with myself here. So let's get back to whatever we were doing before I decided to unload this bullshit. Um,
Well, we do
y-
have a comment from Mr. Talkert
oh
about a
yes, yes.
lady who is going to air the entirety of Doctor Who in chronological order from the perspective of the universe.
Oh my God, how did she have time to edit everything into that order? That would take a week, maybe 2 weeks just to figure out what order to air everything in. I mean, they're talking about from the beginning of time, not the Doctor's point of view, but the universe's point of view. So this is going to be complicated.
He shared the link on Facebook.
Yeah. Thank you, Nick. I mean, I've got all the episodes. I've just never bothered to commit to the research that would make everything come out in chronological order. My hat's off to that lady. I mean, seriously, she has done an amazing job of work there. If she's got it everything in order, um, it's going to start with Peter Davison at the Big Bang and go forward from there.
Would it start there, or would it start with Jody and the Timeless Child?
That is a good question. That is a damn good question. And that never occurred to me. Pre-universe, yes. Um, well, it's probably a judgment call on the fans' point of view. Really.
And
Um,
and honestly, I hope they had plenty of whatever they needed to get through that, whether it be caffeine or booze or greenery or what have you,
it it
depending on the
it would
locality of
basically
the location.
be time and enthusiasm
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to need a lot of both to go
But
through
going
and
back
do
and
the
forth,
research.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah, bounce, bounce,
and
bounce, bounce, bounce. Yeah,
Yep.
the Doctor has been everywhere and every when and sideways out of the universe a couple of times.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter which Doctor we're talking about. Um, it's going to be a complex, multi-layered um,
clusterfuck.
tapestry. Oh no, a tapestry. I think. To remember until the revival, the Doctor never even kissed anybody. So, well, Paul McGann, yes, that was post classic, pre revival. Um, but damn, she was cute. Wouldn't you kiss her? I would. Um, arr, son of a bitch, the door's been open all this time. My wife is probably bored to tears listening to me. Um, let me refill the painkiller, and I will attempt to return without falling down. Um, like that's going to happen.
Oh. Yeah, hopefully here in the next couple weeks my schedule will go back to normal again and I'll be able to stream and get my shows back on track.
Yeah, I've got to get um my desk ordered so that I can get everything set up, because I got my stand for my green screen, but if I try to put it how everything is set up right now, it's so far back that you can see the edges of the frame. So I need it to be able to come in much closer, but which means I need to get rid of the little table I have here that's got my work phone and the fan and all that crap on it. Um, can't wait to start being able to muck around with that.
Yeah, I need to get my green screen set back up. I took it down when we got the kitty, and since the cat doesn't even really claw anything, I'm thinking it's going to be safe to hang back up.
And then suddenly the cat's like, "Fooled you!" Ha 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 ha.
Right. So I need to get that set back up at some point, which I may set it up, I might not. It all depends. Have a good night, Mac.
Yes. Oh. Indeed. If you're going to be up by 9, you better go to bed. I don't have to be up before Monday, so I'm lucky. Oh, and Nick is going to wish us a fond farewell, I do believe.
Have a good night, sir.
Nick,
And we will talk tomorrow.
any time we get to spend with you is automatically better than time spent without you. I mean, seriously. You have to even ask. And believe me, Rich and Joe would tell you to fuck off if you deserved it. And
Oh, we have.
You have, yes, whether he deserved it or not.
No. I just threaten him with random gradient backgrounds and
your wife's sword fighting.
watching those two sword fight is always so much fun. Just because with him training her, it's like watching the person in a mirror. Especially when they're both on their A game.
I can just imagine. I'll have to just imagine. It's something I will never get to experience.
If you go back through the Historical Fencing Guild channel, we used to post various bouts and stuff on there. And you can find some of the two of them sparring, and sometimes it starts off as them just, it's like a boxing match, just two people circling around and waiting for the first one to take that step.
Mm-hmm. Studying for weaknesses, and when neither one has one, ooh, it gets exciting then.
Mm-hmm.
Then you just have to wait on who has the least patience. You can tell I spent a lot of time in the SCA back when I was in college. These things are not unfamiliar to me. You had people that were so evenly matched that, as you said, it was like watching somebody shadowboxing with a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, they just kind of dance around and wait on one of them to make a misstep. And if neither one of them made a misstep, then when the first one said, "I'm going in," the actual outcome depended on who had the bigger shield. They were so evenly matched. Whoever had the bigger shield was the one that was going to survive. And we had one little guy that had a shield about the size of a garage door, basically, but he was strong enough to tote it, and nobody could get around that damn thing. But he could. Don't ask me how. I think he teleported the rattan sword end around, but
Nick has a tower shield from back in his SCA days. I towed it around like it's a buckler.
You would. It would be for your size. It would be a buckler. For Nick's size, it would be
It was a tower shield for Nick.
well, yeah, about a half size. I mean, Nick is not a midget, but you are a giant. So these things are relative. I'd need at least a 4x8, but
Trying to
oh,
see, because there was a stream. Where's it at? Wasn't that far back. Jesus.
yeah, Nick. The only Gordian knot I know of tonight is the one in my neck muscles, and I'm trying to get rid of it as quickly as I can.
Trying to think when that first Shakespeare in the Park we did, that was back in like June, wasn't it, Richie? When we were all out there fighting? The day it was just hotter than sin.
In June or July, yeah.
Yeah.
And up there too, yeah. It must have been more humid than hot.
Oh,
I wasn't able to make the first one, so the one I was able to make was either July or August. So yeah, I believe the first one was I think June 28th. I think is what you said.
July 28th, because it was like a month after my birthday.
Okay.
Yep, sounds about right.
I knew there was a J and a 28.
And it wasn't jet fuel. That reminds me, is there such a jet fuel as JP88? That was used in a story that I wrote on the advice of the editor at the time. I'm going, did you make that up or is that real? I'll never know.
All right, here's one for you to pull up.
Okay.
This was at the Shakespeare in the Park event that we did here in New Chicago, and we had the fencing guild doing some demonstrations. This is actually Nick and my wife about to spar.
And do you wonder that I can tell them apart?
And I know I start playing the video at some point. Oh, we were kind of discussing the different stances and stuff. I thought I did just a playthrough of the video.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have to do that. It'll be hard to see the controls at this scale.
Well, it's playing. It's just I see we're talking about. There we go.
Okay.
That was right after she got both arms taken off.
Just a flesh wound.
Yeah. We'll call it a draw. But that's her bread and butter right there. The little buckler.
Uh-huh.
With a sword. And if you watch her sword, it's just flimsy enough. She knows how to whip it to get it to come down and under the shield.
And whip it good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, watching those two spar. I'll have to send you the actual video sometime just to watch it, where we're not getting
I'd love
paused
that.
every few seconds. Yeah, it was
just send me the link and I'll put it up. Put it up. I'll watch it.
Here's me and the wife.
Yeah, you start out with your head bowed.
Yep.
I'm sorry, baby.
Yeah. No, that's actually my favorite sword to use right there, the little Dusick. And she's her and Nick both trained me, so I kind of learn from both
You're
of them.
looking away, you idiot. never look away from your opponent.
I can buy a Copish trainer.
You can buy a what?
Copish. Um, the Mummy. The swords that the the slave mummies to Imhotep were using.
Okay.
Looks almost like the bastard love child of an axe and a sword. I've been wanting to work with one of those for years. And now I've got the funds where I can actually pick up a couple of Kopesh trainers, give one to Nick and keep one for myself, and we can both learn to make them how to go.
I once had an entire year of college where my PE was fencing. Now, I was very enthusiastic, but I couldn't claim to be all that good.
Mm-hmm.
But there were some folks that they were absolutely bored with the opponents in their upper class range.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, there was one guy about Richie's size that I was actually doing extra credit stuff and stood in for one of their classes, and he's going, "Oh, someone I can intimidate because he's small." That was some of the best. I swear that was one of the best fencing classes I had in the entire year because he didn't realize that I was not able to be intimidated by his size. It's like Pfefford and the Gray Mouser, and I was the Gray Mouser. Oh, bounce, bounce, thrust, bounce, bounce, back, bounce, bounce, thrust. And I was using stuff that I had learned in the previous quarter, and I won't say had never encountered, but because of his size, people were really intimidated by him and tried to stay out of his reach and just um, survive a couple of touches.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just going, extra credit, dude. Bounce, bounce. Poof. I'm going for it. And oh, um, now the truly treasures. The thing that was the worst that happened was while we were fencing, both of our foils broke the tips off.
Oh.
Yeah. And we both noticed it at the same time as the TA did.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going, wait a minute, no tips. Sorry. And uh that I mean, seriously, we had to go and find unbroken foils
Mm-hmm.
to resume the class, and evidently there were a shitload of broken foils that day,
Oh.
and I collected them and I took them home, and I got out Dad's welder and I made a pirate sword out of them.
Nice.
It turned out to be real short, but a 28-inch pirate sword with a full basket hilt made out of scrap metal, and still on my wall today. Um, I would not want to be threatened by this implement of mass distraction. Hey,
Hmm.
Kiri.
Hey, Kiri.
Uh,
Hey, Kerry.
Yeah.
well, the moral of the story, the upshot of the PE class was, uh, this big guy found out that there were people that would not be intimidated by his size and would give him a good match. And actually, I think after the class, we went out to grab lunch at one of the local restaurants and split a pitcher of beer and whatnot. Um, don't think I ever saw him again after that because it was like the end of the quarter.
Mm.
So I wasn't able to sit back in on his class. He was Olympic quality. He really was. Um, I could just barely get through his guard to get a touch on him. Just would. It was the hardest thing to do to get through his damn guard.
Hmm.
Um, now I won't say that the reverse was true, but I had to
Yeah.
keep him on the defensive in order to make any headway whatsoever. If 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 I ever let him take the offensive, I would have been done. But I had to once more into the breach, my friends, and I won't say that I won. I won't say he won. I think it was pretty much a draw, but we both learned lessons from that. Um, for his part, never underestimated a small guy that's determined. And for my part, oh my God, big guys are really hard to beat.
During the bouts that my wife and I did that day, I was wearing my hat as always, and we had reset to start another round. And as soon as we started to go and kind of start circling each other, I brought my one hand up kind of slow, grabbed the brim of my hat, flicked it off at her, and then went at her with the sword.
Distraction, yes.
Yeah, it didn't help. Uh,
I didn't expect it would. She focuses really well.
hmm. And then she
Ah,
wouldn't give me my hat back after that. Actually, she started using it as a parrying device.
you want your hat? Come and get it. Come and get it.
Yep.
Come and get it.
There's
Mm.
also a good video of Richie and I both fighting longsword that day.
Oh, oh, gentlemen, I am sorry. We are right down to the last minute.
Yep.
Oh, this has been so much fun. Um, all right. We will see you Thursday, Friday, Saturday next week if you're able. And
Are you
I
going to
will
do
be,
a last man standing next Thursday with it being Thanksgiving?
I haven't the faintest idea. Um, mm, it depends on how early Thanksgiving going out to a restaurant with my mom ends. Um, I will have time whether or not there is anybody else that will have interest in doing it. That's the thing. Because I expect most folks will be busy all night. I may just go ahead and open it up and see if anybody's free. And if you are, fine. If you're not, I can delete that recording. No big deal. However, Green Room,
Mm-hmm.
I expect to see you. Well, no,
Yeah, I
I
shouldn't
would.
be popping in and out this week, like or this coming week, as I did yesterday.
Well, I shouldn't say I expect, like I've got a right to demand anything of your time. Um, I would hope that both of you are able to be there as well as all the rest of our friends. But, things happen. It's a holiday weekend. Um, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yep.
And basically, I can't imagine that our group of mutual friends would be anyone I would not want to spend a holiday with.
Yep.
And on that note, I guess it's time to play the bedtime story. But thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for helping to have a good time. I'm sorry about the biographical bullshit that I indulged in, but I don't know where it came from. But evidently, I need to put that out there in public. But I wish I hadn't, but I did. So fuck it. Um, we shall see what we shall see as the future holds. Can't wait till I see both of you again. So, good night.
Good night, folks.
Good night, folks.
Transmission overload.
System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.